Hey everybody, this is Jim at sb500chart.com. My voice is worse tonight than I think it's been since I've ever been doing these videos. But it's the result of a long day yelling across rooms to my client. It was rough. So, before we get started, I just need to remind you that these are just my ideas. I just draw lines on charts. You have to draw your own conclusions. Don't take my word for anything. Do your own due diligence always on everything you do in the markets. You have to take responsibility for your actions. So, that said, we closed today at 1981.48 after getting up very close, if not right at about 1983. We had a target of 1984. That's awful close. So, I think we can say that our inverted head and shoulders pattern has, for the most part, done what it was supposed to do. There's the depth of the head right there. There's the breakout right there. There's our target. And if we move that right to the middle of that line, there we go. We made that target, maybe missed it by 1 point. So what to look for now? Well, this level where we are has been resistance on a number of occasions. So the question really becomes, is the S&P going to be capable of setting an all-time high? It certainly looks kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Hell-bent for leather, whatever that means. It looks like it wants to just truck on up. But let me back out from this just a little bit more and throw out an idea here. And again, this is going to be what I would consider rank speculation. But we know we've got this line of resistance about here. We know that we got up to, what did we get? What was our high? About 1990 and change. I just wonder if we hit resistance up here again, maybe back up a little bit, and you know where I'm going. Could we possibly be setting up an even larger inverted head and shoulders pattern where the left shoulder would have been about 3 weeks long, then here's the head, and then maybe a right shoulder. I'm not going to say that's going to happen, but if we back out just a little bit more to about a 2-hour chart, you can see that we've been trading in between this red support line and this red resistance line. If we stay doing that, if we continue that channel, then that means we would have a date with that line, with this red line, somewhere in the potential 5 or 6 weeks out. I'm not guaranteeing that by any stretch, but I'm just looking at where longer-term support and resistance exist. So if we stay inside this channel, then I am certainly open to the idea that we could be setting up a move that will eventually take out that mid-1980s, and upon doing so would give us a target somewhere around 2050 to 20, even as high as 2060. Again, speculative. All I can say at this point is that the S&P has met the target from that inverted head and shoulders. We are now above that neckline from that triple top, not by a lot, but we are above it. So let's just see what happens in the next week or so. See if we set up a short-term top up here that would take us down, maybe back into the 1960s or something like that. Something about as deep as we got over here. If that's the case, then that would be one more piece of evidence that maybe we are looking at yet another continuation pattern in the form of an inverted head and shoulders. But again, I want to reiterate, big time speculative at this point. That's just really kind of looking way out there. But you'll remember I kind of did the same thing on this inverted head and shoulders pattern down here. When we tagged this line and started to show a little sign of resistance, you'll remember I said, let's see, maybe we get an inverted head and shoulders pattern. Now I'm saying maybe we get an even larger inverted head and shoulders pattern that had at its head a smaller inverted head and shoulders. This has happened before. So I'm not saying this out of wishful thinking. I'm saying it because it's happened before. So guys, nice day in the markets. It's funny. We had drawn these channel lines right here, these two blue lines. We actually got above that top line, and the top line served as support. Now, caveat. Because you've known me for long enough, when you take out a rising resistance line, you can't count on that line flipping to support the same way you typically can count on a descending resistance line. So as a matter of fact, I can almost guarantee you at some point we're going to break down through this line. So descending lines like this one, you get above it, you typically stay above it. This time, because this is a rising resistance line, we can't make that assumption. As a matter of fact, it's safer to assume just the opposite. We will come back down under this line at some point. And I kind of think it won't be too far from now. It could be tomorrow at the open. I don't know. So guys, let me rest my voice, and we'll get a video to you a little bit earlier tomorrow evening. Here it's about midnight. So sorry this took so long. Sorry my voice is so gruff. I'm doing things. I'm trying some diet, doing some things to try to clear my sinuses up. Hopefully, I will get those dulcet, sweet baritone tones back. Frankly, I haven't had them for years. I used to have a fairly deep, rich voice, believe it or not. So guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate your time, appreciate your support, and let's keep an eye on things for the rest of this week. Take care.